It was 10 years ago, and I was in grade 6. I was sitting at the back of my class that one day when the head teacher walked in and out of nowhere pointed at me and said, "Khiem, you're gonna be the center for our class musical performance next month." And everyone turned around to look at me. And I was shocked. I was flabbergasted. But deep down, I was low-key enjoying it. That must be something special about me, I thought. And that would be a chance for me to be popular in the school. But my excitement got crushed as soon as I got down to practice. It just doesn't feel right to be here, dancing and singing in the center. Do I really deserve this position? I was thinking, while at the same time being on the lookout for what my friends were saying about me. Do they think I'm good at this? Do they think I deserve to be here? I could not allow myself to make any mistake because it really felt like everyone out there was just ready to jump in and take over my position at any time. It was such an immense pressure. And 5 days after the first practice, I quit. "I'm sorry, but I just cannot do this anymore." Tears were welling up as I ran out of the room. So that was my very first and intense experience with what I later knew as imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome, first coined by Pauline Klein and Susan Imes in 1978, is the idea that you're not worth it, that your success and achievements has nothing to do with your talents and efforts. Those suffering from imposter syndrome are in a constant fear that they will be exposed at any time, that the mask they're wearing could be taken off at any time. As I'm standing right here, right now, acting to be giving out a really cool speech, I have to admit that that's very imposter syndrome I encountered 10 years ago is still here. I can feel it. How is it possible that I'm giving a TED Talk? Why are people showing up in this room? Their life must be so boring they have to come and watch me on a weekend morning like this. That's what the imposter inside me is saying. It's like a monster I could never get rid of. But I guess it's not that scary anymore now that I've learned to understand it and to keep it under control. There is no single answer to what causes imposter syndrome, but as I look deeply into it, I believe it all comes down to the fear of being hated and being judged. You fear that you will be hated for being unworthy of what you are having, for taking chances away from more deserving people. You are afraid that you will be looked down upon for not being able to prove yourself, and you're scared that you will lose people's favors if you're not going to meet their expectations. After breaking down imposter syndromes into more familiar pieces, I have come up with 3 tips to stop it from growing and to make the most out of it. Tip number 1, expect less from yourself and from others. Let me introduce you to the halo effect. Halo effect is a type of cognitive bias whereby our assessment of someone can be positively influenced by their other seemingly good traits. So it works like this. For example, you walk down the street, you see a young man, very well dressed, very handsome, with a bright smile, and you will tend to assume that he's rich, he's well educated, he's boyfriend material, or whatever. So back to my 6th grade story. Can you guess why my teacher chose me to be the center of the performance? Well, she thought I was cute, and she assumed that the cuteness was equivalent to phenomenal vocal and outstanding choreography. Well, this was me back then. The cuteness is still debatable, but there's one thing I can say for sure, is that my teacher was making a decision under the influence of the halo effect. The halo effect is now ever popular in this world, where we rarely have time to judge a book beyond its cover. Like seriously, we're expecting to find a partner to spend the rest of our life with just by looking at the photos and decide to swipe left or right in less than 5 seconds. And with the halo effect comes the reverse one. So it occurs when your positive perception of someone brings about negative consequences when you find out that something slightly less good about them, about someone that you have always thought of as very good. Usually, we see and judge people under the influence of the halo effect. And we try to not be the victim of the reverse halo effect. In other words, we expect others to be perfect, and we push ourselves to be perfect as well, which is really unhealthy. When you are respected or complimented for being good at one thing, you will try to excel at others as well. And this is impossible. You can save yourself and everyone else from all of this by simply lowering your expectations on basically anything. Tip number 2, please know that. Tip number 2, please know that most people are just like you, too busy doubting themselves to care about others. Here comes another term, pluralistic ignorance. It's a phenomenon when people wrongly assume that their thoughts, their feelings, their opinions are different from everyone else, especially in a group. So by a show of hand, how many of you have experienced imposter syndrome or are experiencing imposter syndrome? Show me. Okay, so see, you're not the only one that suffers. It is the pluralistic ignorance that makes you think so. And you've got really big allies. Albert Einstein and Lady Gaga all admitted to being the victims of imposter syndrome. And I hope this makes you feel better, knowing that you're not alone. You can really share your experience with a trusted mentor or your trusted friends, because knowing that others have been in your experience really help validate your feelings and make the situation much less scary. Tip number 3, use imposter syndrome to your advantage. So in an upcoming paper by the MIT Sloan School of Management, Professor Basuma Tufik suggested that those who have imposter thoughts at work tend to have an advantage over their colleagues in terms of social skills, teamwork, and support of others. This because they feel like they need to fill the gap between their true ability and what people perceive or expect of them. This means that if you can keep your imposter syndrome at a moderate level, you can really use it as an incentive to strive forward, to move forward, to strive better. So back to my 6th grade story one last time. I really felt like an imposter at that time because I was, in some way, a true imposter. Like I was chosen to be the center of a musical performance without having to go through any previous audition on singing or dancing. Otherwise, I would never have been chosen, right? But the case is so different for you and me right now. In this ever-competitive world, where everything covetable, it's hardly within reach, and where people are willing to go to any lengths to achieve what they want, it is really hard for an imposter to get in. Like, I feel like they will be detected and eliminated right away. So, if you and me ever score any outstanding achievement, it is likely because we are not imposter. We are here because we deserve it. We are worthy. We overcame all the hardships and ordeals. We proved ourselves to be here. And we have every right to be proud of our achievements. So, believe you can do it. believe you're worth it, but still leave room for a little self-doubt and a lot of self-improvement. That's how you do it. That's how you move forward. So to end this speech on a good note, I would like to quote Bertrand Russell, who in 1933 wrote that, "In the modern world, the stupid are cocksure, while the intelligent are full of doubt." Thank you.